We have Latin Spice once again featured at the number 4 spot. And then we have Squint at our number 5 spot. So again, a big old round of applause for all of our lovely gifters. We appreciate y'all. Let me just tell you what you guys are watching. You're watching Rate the Date, and we have a wonderful bachelor on today's episode. So if we could get him to request the box, we get Jordan to request the box. And we have 3 amazing contestants that are going to be competing to win a virtual date. But over here at Rate the Date, we turn virtual dating into reality. So we have 3 contestants. First round, everybody gets 4 questions apiece. I asked him to come up with some questions. I think he has some questions that he's going to be asking each of our lovely contestants. After that, unfortunately, somebody is eliminated. I know. It sucks that they can all be picked, you know. But even the people who aren't picked go into a group chat and we try to reuse everybody. I try to pair everybody up. If they don't call me Dory, anybody can get a date for no reason. And then afterwards, we go into round number 2, where we will double up the questions. 8 questions will remain, and then he makes his final pick. Him and that person will get to know each other off of the app. I think they all have Instagram, and then they'll tune back in next Thursday, and they'll give us a little bit of an update. Speaking of updates, we have Hennessy, who was our bachelorette, and she chose Yoli. So we'll be hearing from them at the end of the episode. So without further ado, let me introduce you to our lovely bachelor on today's episode. And while we get to know him a little bit, can we have Britters, Tawny, and Promise request the box? How's it going, Jordan?
Listen, it feels good to finally be a bachelor and not one of the guys getting eliminated. So it feels good today, man. It feels good.
Well, that is beautiful and awesome to hear. And like I said, he was a contestant in a previous episode. So if you guys want to be featured on an episode, all you got to do is hit up one of my lovely admins, one of the guys in red, and they'll tell you exactly what you need to be featured on the show. And speaking of contestant turned bachelor, we got Jordan here today. Jordan, I'm sure people want to get to know you a little bit if they don't already know. So I have some random facts and about you, and let me know if these are true. And let's dig a little bit deeper into these. It says you were a former K-9 officer at military and police work. So the guy knows how to serve and protect. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, man. So loved dogs growing up, decided that go to college, get my degree. Let me see what I'm gonna do with it. Worked for law enforcement, got into K-9s, and then left, went to Department of Defense, started working K-9s, and it was fun. It was a fun job for a little bit, man. But I got money hungry, and I went to a private sector and started making money instead.
Well, fair enough. But yeah, definitely, like I said, he will know how to keep these lovely contestants definitely protected. And speaking of protection, adding another layer to that, it says here that I am a girl dad and I have an amazing kid.
Man, that's my life. She's everything, man. She's what I do it for. She's my passion. She's everything, man. Yeah. So that's a big piece of who I am.
That is wonderful. And it's good, they get to know a little bit about who their bachelor is today. And it says here, I train like an NFL athlete, and hopefully one day they'll be calling.
It should say I train like I want to be an NFL athlete, and hopefully they'll call. No, man, I'm in the gym thinking I'm going to get called up one day. I know it's not going to happen, but, I'm in the gym like, hey, when they're ready, I'm here. I'm here when y'all ready, man.
Exactly. Well, you've been with us from day one, so we have been with you while you were shooting in the gym. I hate my life. All right, enough about that. Let's get to know our lovely contestants on today's episode. So we have Britters, we have Promise, and we have Tawny. And let's get all of you lovely ladies in the box. So we got 1, we got 2, and then while we wait for our lovely Britters, we got Tawny and Promise over here. I got some random facts. And how are you ladies doing today?
Good. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. So let's get to know Tawny a little bit since you were the first one in the box. It says, I competed in spelling bees as a kid. So, you got the linguistics down, So, tell us a little bit about your endeavors in the spelling bees.
I did it in elementary and middle school. I never won like a championship, but I did like competitions in San Diego because I'm from San Diego, California originally. But then it kind of turned into a passion of writing eventually as an adult, and I hope to write a crime novel one day. So that's one of my
Wow, very,
aspirations.
very incredible. And it says also here it says, I'm headed to my first overseas trip in Italy later in the year. So what brings about this trip? And I am definitely one that is excited for you.
Some people from the app that I've known for a while and haven't had a chance to meet. It's a birthday celebration, a chance to meet a couple of them. So that's why.
That is wonderful. And like I said, we're waiting on Britters here. Miss Brittany, if we could get you to request a box, and if I could add Lux to request a box. And moving forward over here, we have our lovely Promise. So Promise, I have some random facts about you, sweetheart. Promise, it says here, you kept it short and sweet. I love volleyball. How long have you been playing? Is this a high school endeavor?
Yeah, it was back from middle school, and I played a little bit in college, and then I coach.
Awesome. And it says, my favorite color is green. And then it says
All
here,
shades of green.
and I'm a foster parent. Oh, well, that is wonderful. Tell us a little bit about that.
I took classes last year to become a foster parent, got licensed in September, and then I got my first foster in October. They end up reuniting him with his family, and then I got my daughter right now since she was 2 days old. She's 2 months, almost 3 months.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so we have somebody else that's going to request a box, and we'll wait for Britters to see if she's going to be able to come. I'll give her a call, but without further ado, let's get Lux in the box.
Oh, hello.
Hey, Lux, how are you doing, sweetheart?
Good, thank you. Thanks for having me. How are you?
Of course, always. I'm doing wonderful, but it's nice to have another episode of Rate the Date. Lux, give us a random fact about you that we might not know, just based on looking at you.
Sure. I like pina coladas and long walks along the beach.
Ooh, if you like pina coladas and having fun in the beach. Okay, all right, without further ado, Jordan, I asked you to come up with some questions for our lovely contestants. So how about we have Tani be contestant number 1, we'll have Promise be contestant number 2, and we'll have the lovely Lux be contestant number 3. So without further ado, let's get into these questions. What question do you have lined up for contestant number 1?
Let's do it, man. I'm excited. Man, we got beautiful women. This is going to be fun, man. All right, question number 1 for contestant number 1. What is one thing that you've learned from your last relationship?
Well, that's a good one.
I would say, based on my last relationship, it was over 3 years, and he had commitment issues, and I kind of put up with it for all that time, and I kind of learned not to settle and kind of like what I deserve and what I shouldn't put up with. So now I know going forward that, I deserve better than that. So.
Respect,
Well, that is
respect.
awesome, and I
Love that.
appreciate the honesty and walking us kind of through the rigmarole of, the beginning and end of what happened there. Okay, moving it back over to our lovely Promise. What question do you have lined up for contestant number 2?
Contestant number 2. What are your biggest fears?
Oh, that's a good one.
Then I'm gonna die in my car.
In the car,
Wow,
huh?
okay. Does that
In the
stop you from driving or jumping on the highway or?
Well, no, most of the time I prefer to take the street, but if I'm with somebody, I prefer somebody else to drive.
Is that past trauma? Was it?
I was in 8 car accidents within a 3-year span. And then the
Wow.
last one, I was in an 8-car pileup and broke both bones in my wrist.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, I hope today is not a wreck for you and you find yourself in the top position. All right, moving it right along over to Lux. What question do you have lined up for the lovely contestant number 3?
Contestant number 3. What does your perfect date look like?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good question. I like that question because I think when we ask this question, we tend to jump to sort of the glamorous, like let's fly to Paris and let's have it, but that would be like a total red flag if we were just to jump right in like that. So I would think like a nice, drink or something, maybe an appetizer that's not too messy, you don't know, wings right away, good conversation, and then we set ourselves up for date number 2. I think that'd be perfect.
That
like
is
it. I
perfect.
like
That you painted a perfect picture for us. Okay, but Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. All right. So we just got a plug for the show. So I got to let you guys know what the heck we're watching. So this is the #1 dating show on the app. We have the lovely Bachelor today, and we got the 3 awesome contestants. We're just getting started into round #1, where everybody else got 3 questions apiece, I think. And then unfortunately, somebody has to be eliminated after that. But that's okay. Even the eliminated contestants go into a group chat, and we try to hook everybody up on the platform. I turn virtual into reality, people. So have some faith. After that, we go into round #2, where we'll double up the questions, and then he'll make his pick. They'll get to know each other off the platform, on the Book of Face, the Snap of all chats, the Gram of all Instas, whatever the kids are calling it these days. And they'll tune back in next Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern time and give us a little bit of an update. Speaking of updates, you guys got an update from Hennessy, who picked Yoli on our last episode. Shout out to both of them. I think Hennessy just joined in the chat. So we'll be hearing from them at the end of the episode. So yeah, looking forward to that. Back into the show for contestant #1. What is contestant #1's second question?
What's the best advice someone has ever given you?
Wow, I would say that I do tend to be a very driven person, but I know that as of recently, I gotten a little detoured because of some things that went on in my life, in my personal life, and just to always like stick to your dreams and never allow anybody to hold you back, or don't allow yourself a detour. Just stay on that path so that you can remain successful and remain driven and focused.
Yeah, just awesome. I think we can all learn from that. We're having a lot of drive-related answers to the question, with Promise being scared of the drive, and Tawny saying move straight forward, risk it, take risks. Back over to Promise. What question do you have lined up for contestant #2?
Contestant #2, what's the biggest boundary that you have? And let's talk. Let's keep it in relationships. So really, just in relationships. What's that boundary you set?
I don't know. Like, as in,
Like, I'll give you one of my mines, for instance. Like, if somebody is low in conscientiousness, they got to go. If you treat the people around us with no care or no empathy, I take note of that, and you'll be the next one that's kind of not being able to deal with with a relationship.
I don't know. That's a hard question. I can't think of it.
It's a good question.
I can't think of one.
Okay.
Well, fair enough. Hey, how about we'll come back to that? That'll be
You'll come back.
You know, while we ask our lovely contestant #3 the question, then hopefully that'll give you time to think of something. All right, what question do you have lined up for contestant #3?
Contestant #3, amongst your friends, what are you best known for?
All right, these are solid questions, by the way. Amongst my friends,
Yeah.
I think I'm known for sort of bringing the laughter and the positivity. And I mean, you always want me to party. I don't want to toot my own horn, but
Yeah,
it's
I
always
get
a
that
good
vibe
time,
off of
right?
you already. I get the vibe. Like you're. I get the vibe. You're
Yeah.
definitely fine. Yeah, I get it. I'm with you.
Thank you.
Promise.
Guys,
Let's change
right.
your question up a little bit.
I got
Go
it. No,
for it.
I got it now.
Okay.
I got it now. So I said boundaries as far as me time and my partner's time. Like, we don't always have to be together. Like, I need my time, and you, of course, need your time.
Yeah, also, that personal space. I had to learn about that. I'm always, hey, let's talk about it. And sometimes people are like, hey, can I process real quick, Mr.
Yeah.
All up in my face? It takes a specific person. Let me tell you that. All right, bringing it over to Tani. What is Tani's third question?
What would be your dream job?
Thank you.
Actually, that's a good question because I recently just started towards that. I was in the restaurant industry for 20 years and I recently got out of that. I wanted to work in hotels ever since I was 18. And I actually, as a Monday, just started working at the Hyatt. So I'm doing housekeeping, but I have I'm going to pursue further and move up. So I'm actually working towards that right now. So I'm excited for
Okay.
that.
Yeah, and Tani, what area are you located in?
I'm outside of Austin, Bastrop.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if I'm ever in Austin, you got me on a discount.
Definitely.
Hotel,
Not the
motel,
discount.
Holiday Inn. All right.
What?
Moving it back over to contestant number 2 for her third question. But before we get to that, we got another plug for the show. So what you guys are watching is Rate the Date, the official #1 dating show on the app. And we have the lovely Jordan as our bachelor. And we have 3 awesome contestants. We're in the middle of the first round. So after this, he's going to make an elimination. And after that, we go into round number 2. He'll make another elimination. He'll make his pick. They'll get to know each other off the platform. And then they'll tune back in next Thursday and give us an update. Speaking of that, we got Hennessy and Yoli, who I see them in the chat. And we'll be getting an update from them. They've been getting to know each other for 7 days now. So I'm have my fingers crossed. I hope everything worked out. But we'll be hearing from them at the end of this episode. Oh, yes. And I wanted to let y'all know it is 10 more minutes for the top gifter to be featured on the official Rate the Date name tag. So whoever is at the top spot in 10 minutes is going to be featured on the official Rate the Date name tag. So don't miss out. Be featured on the Rate the Date name tag. All right, now back to you, Jordan, for contestant number 2's question.
Got it. Okay, contestant number 2. What are you dying to try in your next relationship?
To travel. I've never traveled with my partner before.
Okay, travel together. All right, I like it. I like it.
That is awesome. Yeah, traveling. We got Tani's trip to Italy, and you got some traveling that needs to happen over with Promise. Hopefully not by automobile. Okay, now contestant number 3. What question do you have lined up for contestant number 3, Jordan?
Contestant number 3. What are you most passionate about?
I am most passionate about. I think it goes to your dream job question. I think writing. Like I think if I had to choose something that I enjoy doing, but then not solely writing. It's kind of like putting that out there and bringing that joy, to others. So.
Okay.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Those things.
What are some of the things that you write about? If I'm unpacking that a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. No. I write poetry here and there. I had one published in like the university creative writing journal once upon a time. I wrote a juvenile fantasy novel. It was like 10,000 words. So I like to do stuff like that. And so I hope to write another novel one day. And
That
you'll
is
see my
awesome.
name out there.
Without allowing you to hog too much of the time with the answer, how about
And shall I go on? Just kidding.
No, Lux, how about you give us one of those haikus or something at the top of your head when you get your final question. Okay, moving it to the final questions of the first round. So Jordan, definitely make these questions count. So for the last question for Tani of the first round, what question do you have lined up, Jordan?
What's the biggest risk you've ever taken?
This is good. This is a funny story if you knew the backstory. I thought that I could get out of a speeding ticket because I'd done it before and like diverted and got away from the cops. Let's just say I didn't, and I went to jail for a night, but I did probation and I got out of it. But don't do that, you guys. If you're gonna get pulled over, just like deal with it. It's not worth having to do probation and go to jail for a night. But yeah. But I promise I'm reformed. We haven't done anything stupid like that since. So
Well,
Gangster.
yeah, I appreciate you being able to be transparent with us, Tani, with that. And hey, sometimes guys like a little bit of a bad girl, no pun intended. All right, moving it right along over to Promise. What is going to be Promise's last question of the first round?
Yeah, and it's great being a bad girl, by the way. What is the weirdest place you've ever been? The weirdest place you've ever been.
Weirdest place I've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or like a weird date that you had.
Oh, weirdest date I ever been on? They took me to a strip club with girls who couldn't twerk. Booties
Where
wasn't moving.
girls couldn't twerk?
Yeah, they weren't doing anything. Nothing was moving. Nothing. I was
She
just
said she
sitting
went
there
to a
like,
strip club and wasn't nothing bouncing.
I was like, first of all, not just taking me to a strip club. Like, I feel like I'm a little classier than that for first date.
Right.
And then it wasn't even a good one.
No, I'm with you. We're gonna take
Got
you
a
one, baby.
little
We're gonna take you to a
different.
good one.
No. And yeah, she was like, "Do I have to get up there? Come to the stage, promise." Oh, I hate my life. All right, moving it right along to our final question of the first round, going to Lux.
Mm.
So, what is going to be Lux's final question?
It's an easy one for you, I feel like. Are you intimidated by women who make more money than you?
No, not at all. I think that we each sort of have our niche and our place. Like stay home with the kids. So a woman who's gonna go out there and freaking make money, I'm like, woo, all the power to you, sister. Plus, we gotta bring each other up, not bring each other down. You go, queens, you go.
I love it.
That is
I love
awesome.
it.
And Lux, do you got one of those poems ready for us?
I do. Actually, I wrote you a haiku. Here we go. Dorian is great. This is a really great show. Thank you very much.
Boom. I'll take pandering. I'll take the pandering. All right. Appreciate it. Okay. All right. You ladies did great. Big shout out to our bachelor and big shout out to these contestants making it difficult with all these amazing answers. Can I get a round of applause? All right, here's where things get a little difficult. And like I said, keep on sending those gifts because whoever after this first round, we're gonna feature you on the official Rate the Date name tag. I got the marker over here ready to rock and roll. Okay, so Jordan, rather than picking the person you want to eliminate, let's pick the person that you want to move on to round number 2 first. So, can I get a drum roll, please? Who is gonna be the first person that is going into round number 2?
First person going, it was close, it was tight, but I don't know. It was something when she put the devil horns on that made me say yep. She's going to the next round. I don't care what nobody says, so we're going with Lux. It's definitely going on to the next round.
Lux, congratulations. We got a couple of a little naughties in our contestants today. So congratulations, Lux. You move on to round number 2. All right, here's where things get interesting. Who is going to be the second person that is moving on to round number 2? And give us a reason why. Can I get another drum roll, please? Can I get a drum roll in the chat?
It was tough, but I think she got me when she started talking about the girls don't know how to twerk, so that means that she must know what she's doing when she's out there. And so for me, I took what was being put down. So I'm just saying right now that Promise is I'm gonna have to slide Promise on and see what's good. You heard me? So that's me.
Yeah, well, definitely congratulations to Promise and Tawny, you did great on today's episode, and we would love to have you back.
Huh?
I said we would love to have you back on the
thank
show
you.
if you would have us.
Definitely.
All right, thank you so much. Any parting ways for the stream, Tawny?
No, I had fun. Thank you for having me. Good luck, ladies.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And just like the Bachelor show, did you notice that our lovely contestants got roses when they were picked? Okay, how about we turn the tables a little bit, ladies, and flip the questions back on our Bachelor. Okay, Lux, I see you with the rose. It's like she was prepared for this or something. Okay, how about we start off with Lux? Lux, do you have a question for Jordan? Promise, think about a question that you would like to get to know about our lovely Bachelor while Lux asks him a question.
Okay. So if you could choose any age to stay at, what age would you choose?
30. I just felt like, man, at my 30s, I was in my prime. At 30 years old, I was prime as in being smart. I wasn't making dumb decisions. I felt like athletically, I was in the best spot. And I feel like you make a lot of mistakes in your 20s, a lot of mistakes. And when you turn 30, it starts coming together. So I would say that would be the one I would stay at the longest.
Yeah, yeah, 30. I can't lie. It is feeling nice. I'm feeling fine.
Good.
All
It's a,
right.
it's a
So
good
what
age.
about you, Promise? What question do you have lined up for Jordan?
What's your love language?
What are your love languages?
Ooh,
Oh.
it's a good question. It's acts of service. I'm really big on someone doing something for me that they don't want to do, but they're doing it for me, right? So maybe you don't want to make dinner tonight, but you I'm I'm in a situation where I can't make it happen, and you step up and you do it. When you just do something that it's not convenient for you, but you're gonna do it because you love me or because for the respect we have for each other, that goes a long way with me, a long way.
Yeah, Promise. I hope his answer twerked out. I mean, worked out for you. All right. Moving it into round number two, where we're going to double up the questions. How about we have Lux be contestant number one now, and we'll have Promise be contestant number two. So, with that being said, Jordan, back to your questions. What question do you have lined up for contestant number one?
All right, here we go. Contestant number one. What values are most important to you?
The values that are most important to me, I suppose, would be trust. I believe. I think that's really important. Communication. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with those.
Those are
That's
big.
Final
awesome.
answer.
It definitely, yeah,
Those are big.
yeah. Those are the two out of the big three that are featured: trust, communication. You know, those are definitely big things to have optimized in a relationship. Thank you for the plug. All right, so we got to plug the show, and before we get to that, we got to address who is our top gifter mid-shows to be featured on the official Rate the Date name tag. But don't worry, the person that is the top gifter at the end of the episode will be featured on Instagram, and you'll see us next Thursday. So Pebbles, thank you very much. And Pebbles has actually been featured on the majority of these Rate the Date name tags, man. She's making her name on the official Rate the Date. And so we have the lovely Jessie. Let me see if I can get this right. Jessie. All right, boom, boom. There you go, Jesse. Welcome to the official Rate the Date name tag. Congratulations. Can we get a round of applause for our lovely Jesse? Okay, bringing it back over to contestant number two. What question do you have lined up for contestant number two, Jordan?
What is your personal goals? Give me like two of your big personal goals you set for yourself.
To go back to school to finish my degree in massage therapy so I can actually, I like my job now, but do something that I've always wanted.
Yeah, way to take a
And
more
I plan on doing that in
hands-on.
the fall.
Yeah, way to
Oh, I
take a
love
more
it.
hands-on
You have a date.
approach with your answer. Definitely digging that, and I'm sure our bachelor loves that. Okay,
Oh
moving it
yeah.
back over. Yeah, I'm sure bringing it back over to Lux. What question do you have lined up for the lovely Lux?
Okay, I want to hear her answer to this one. I'm really excited to ask her. Um, what's the favorite thing that you love about yourself? Like, what's your favorite thing about love?
I I like that I have the ability to like make the most out of a situation. You know, like things can be really difficult, but it doesn't like bring me down too much. You know, I can be like, yo, like it's storming, but like I like lightning and thunder, and you can be all cozy. You know what I mean? Like it's just being able to look at that and then spread that with other people. Like I love that Lux means light, and I love that I can go about just like spreading that just by smiling and being like, hey everybody, like a smile goes a long way with people. So.
Yeah, they say that feeling negative, feeling angry it's easier to be in a state of anger than it is to be in a state of happiness. It's like they say losing hurts worse than winning feels good. So being able to shift some of that energy into a positive state is always ideal. And we see the smile on your face, Lux. You're bringing us some joy on today's show. All right, moving it back over to Promise. What question do you have lined up for Promise, Jordan?
Promise, I want to see. I want to ask you this just to see how you think. Do you think that dating is easier or harder with the internet?
Harder.
And why?
because you can portray yourself to be anything, but when you're actually in front of somebody, like the nervousness, the maybe I'm actually fat instead of skinny, or I'm tall instead of short, like all that can come over.
Well, I'm glad the Bachelor then is showing you a little bit more upper torso to get a little understanding of what he's working with.
I came outside in the sun so you guys know it's not hitting stuff.
All right, before we get back into the questions, let me just plug the show. You guys are watching the #1 dating show on the app. We appreciate y'all. I wish I could tell y'all verbally thank you for all the gifts. Well, but thank you for all the gifts. But I'll be definitely doing some sign language to let y'all know exactly my appreciation. But the lovely admins will be the voice of reason in the chat, and they'll be telling y'all thank you and letting y'all know a couple of things about the show or answering any questions that y'all have. And speaking of that, if you guys want to get booked on the show, all you got to do is hit up one of my lovely admins and slide in, and they'll let you know exactly what you need to do to be a future contestant or a bachelor or bachelorette on a future episode. And so after this last round, he's going to make his final pick, and they're going to get to know each other off the platform. Speaking of that, we got Hennessy, who's going to give us an update. She chose Yoli, so we'll be hearing from both of them at the end of the episode. I hope everything worked out, but if not, we definitely have some options. Okay, so without that, let's bring it back over to Lux. What question do you have lined up for Lux?
Lux, what are some of your relationship deal breakers?
Deal breakers. Okay. If he, see, I'm really like on like a mission to like recognize red flags because I feel like I didn't before. So I feel like a deal breaker would be just like a love bombing, just like too much like right at once. I feel like would be like a deal breaker. I don't know if that's a relationship deal breaker. I think a relationship is maybe something that's established already. So I think maybe established deal breaker would be like caught in a lie or cheating or something, established that. So I'd like to think that, but I have forgiven in the past. So that's my long answer to that.
I think both those are good.
We love the color red over here on Rate the Date, and they say you do need to look at things with rose-colored glasses when you're in a relationship. But one thing I said, if you're looking at everything with rose-colored glasses, then don't red flags just look regular colored? Okay, moving it back over to Promise. What question do you have lined up for Promise?
Promise, if you can learn one skill instantly, what would it be?
Probably stock.
What is it?
Repeat that.
Stock.
Oh, stock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how to trade on the stock market and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Got you. All right.
Yeah.
Trying to make some money.
Yeah. The Wolf of Wall Street, just in seconds.
Exactly. All right. I like that.
All right. Hey,
Sorry, guys.
how about this? How about we take the questions back over to our lovely chat. Chat, and if y'all have any questions that you want to have featured on the show, definitely ask away. But over here, I have a couple of questions, if you don't mind, Jordan. And how about you start out with this one? How do you handle obstacles in your relationship? And that question came from Nita. So big shout out to Nita for the question.
Communication. I think that if there's an obstacle in our way, we gotta figure out how we're gonna get over it and how we can get through it. And then once we get past it, I think there needs to be an understanding of why that became an obstacle. Why did that come in our way? So it doesn't happen again. I think people communicate to get past something, but they don't ever communicate to make sure it doesn't happen again. So that's the thing. That's communication.
This is true. What about you, Lux? How do you handle obstacles in your relationship?
Right? It's hard to follow that answer because I totally agree with the communication. And I think that that space too and take time because you're not always ready to sort of deal with something. So I think having that time that's established for you or that space that's established for you is good so that you can go and be in a good frame of mind to like come together and like counter the obstacle together.
And promise, rather than talking about your relationships and your obstacles, I see here over here in the chat that we had somebody asking, what would be, speaking of vacations, this comes out from Yes Big Star. He says, what would be your dream vacation in a relationship together?
Probably camping, because I've never been camping. And I just feel like, yeah, my man should be able to protect me while I'm in the woods so I can handle going out. Like, I wouldn't want to go with my girlfriends, you know? So I might have
Yeah. Yeah, you know, you don't want to meet Yogi Bear while you're out there, but I think Jordan is overqualified to be a park ranger, you know, with his background. Okay, Jordan, back to you with your questions. Over to contestant number 1. What question do you have lined up for her?
Contestant 1, since we're talking about communication, how do you communicate in your relationships?
Okay, these are really hard questions. I'm like, you guys are making me think. Okay, so I find that not only like talking is good for communication, but also writing, because I find that sometimes like you're heated and you're in the moment and you can't always like get out what you want to say and you're not listening to the other person always. So sometimes I find just like taking that step back and like writing a letter. Sometimes you don't even have to send the letter, you know, you can read the letter and then be like ready to talk about it. But sometimes just like giving that letter and then giving them the opportunity to respond that way, I think is good. I do that with my kids as well. I think it's a good form.
Yeah, and Lux, and definitely playing to your strengths with that honesty with your question. Definitely, I recommend anybody just, you know, pick up a pen and paper and write down some of your ideas, even in relationships, you know. All right, moving it back over to Promise. What question do you have lined up for contestant number 2?
What's the most random thing you've ever done?
Ooh, that is a good one. And while you think about that question, Promise, I got another plug for the show. So what you guys are watching is the #1 show on the app. We have the lovely Jordan as our bachelor, and we got 2 awesome contestants, Promise, the real Promise, and Lux. And so after this, he will make his pick. They'll get to know each other off of the app, and they'll tune back next Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern time and give us a little bit of an update. Speaking of updates, we had on our last episode our favorite bottle of liquor, Hennessy, and she chose the lovely Yoli as her pick. So we'll be tuning in and getting an update from them at the end of this episode. So please tune in. So Promise, what is your answer for his question?
Most random thing I ever did was took a wrong turn when I was supposed to be driving to my aunt's house for a birthday party, and ended up keep going to Columbus. Like I decided, hey, I'm just taking an out of town trip, not going.
Let's go.
like I keep kind of close in my car, so I was just like, and I didn't have kids at the time, so.
Hey now, well, that is definitely turning a negative
and
situation.
I worked from home, so I had my laptop with me. I could, you know,
I
I
love
was
it.
prepared.
Yeah, way to
love
turn a
it.
negative
Spur of the moment.
situation better than if it didn't even happen. You know, that's a rare quality. Okay, back over to Lux. What question do you have lined up for Lux?
Lux, what's your favorite Disney film?
My favorite Disney film. Let's see. I do really like Aladdin. I think I'm gonna have to choose Aladdin off the top of my head. Although I might look at the shelf later of VHS tapes and be like, why didn't I choose that one?
Aladdin. All right.
Yeah, and hopefully Jordan doesn't live too far from you, and you know, maybe you could find a boo today. I hate my life. All right, moving it back over to Promise. What about you, Promise? Jordan, what question do you have lined up for the lovely Promise?
Promise, do you like being by yourself or do you like being around a lot of people?
Myself.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Well, how about in a relationship when you like is rushing things a red flag for you? Like if you like your personal, no, you're fine with it.
Yeah.
As long as you don't take that left turn at Albuquerque, right? Okay,
Don't get lost.
bringing it
Don't get
back,
lost.
bringing it back over to Lux. What question do you have lined up for the lovely Lux?
What is an animal or insect that you're most afraid of?
Animal or insect? Okay. So I think animal, like I'm not scared of a small, and I think something large. Like if I were to be like out in the wilderness, maybe like a bobcat. Like I know that could happen if you're like out in like the West Coast. So
Yeah.
and I think I think insect probably. Oh, like I'm not scared of them, but I don't want them on me. Like I'm not a huge fan of like spiders, but
But you can
I
deal
wouldn't
with them.
run. I could deal with them. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a good answer, but
It's a good one. It's a good one.
And then
okay.
what
Thanks.
about
Thank
for
you.
what? Yeah, spiders. We all have our fears. Cockroaches do it for me. Those freaking water bugs, and especially the evolved ones with wings and your tattoos and prison tattoos. Yeah, I don't know where they come from. All right.
Prison tattoos.
What question do you have lined up for contestant number 2?
You know what, Promise? I want to hear this from you. What television show would you live in? If you could go live in one television show, that's your life. Which one would you be living in?
Like as me, or I get to be the character in this show.
I
Either
want
or.
you to be you in that show. How about that?
Yeah.
It fits your life.
It has to fit my life, not something I want to do.
No, something you want. Something you want.
I would probably want to play. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it has Halle Berry as the main character, and she like has a different personality.
Mhm. No, I don't know that one either. Chat,
one?
any
Which
help?
one?
I think it's either Frankie or maybe Alice,
Okay,
Okay.
interesting.
Now,
And
what was
why
about
that
to say?
one?
Why?
because I would get to practice like different voices because I'd be using different voices.
Wow.
And I feel like I
Okay.
could play the crazy role.
Yeah, hey now. Yeah, hey, yeah, multiple personalities. Yeah, there's a couple of movies about that now. All right, I got a question that comes over here from somebody that frequents the stream. We got Honey. Honey asks here, and this. Let's start off with Jordan with this one again. If your crush took you out to the library on a first date, how would you add romance to that situation?
Ooh, we're getting romantic novels. We're getting a private room where you can go read at. We sitting real close to each other. Um, I'm leaning over. We taking turns reading passages. We gonna make it do what it do, man. We're gonna make it pop.
Hey
In the worst
now.
case scenario, sometimes they have the little movie room. You go watch some videos. So we go watch a movie, turn into a movie room. But we can make the library a good place,
Yeah,
man.
I
We can
don't
make
I
it a
don't
good
know
place.
if the library has those type of movie sections that you're speaking of. All right, what about you? What about you, Lux? If your crush took you out to somewhere where there was you needed to be quiet, how would you add a little bit of romance to that?
Well, you said library, so isn't that exciting enough as it is? There's books everywhere. I'm excited just talking about the library. Hello.
Yeah.
If you're like, we're going to a library for a first date, I'd be like, yo, you're the
Yeah.
one.
Hey, Lux might be the type of woman that's like, oh look, it's a book written by Lux. Who knew? Okay, what about you, Promise? If a guy just specifically took you to the movies and there's not a lot of conversation, how are you adding some spice when you guys are sitting there and just enjoying something?
Well, I'm gonna bring a blanket, and of course, I'm gonna pack a whole bunch of snacks of our favorite snacks in my purse. You know what I'm saying? Set it up, make it do what it do. Share book.
Well, fair
You
enough.
know,
Yeah,
I go to
definitely.
the movie theaters where you can move the little armors up. So move the armors up, make it like a little love seat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely turning that thing into a definitely turning that thing into an Autobot, and let's turn this into something else. All right, definitely seeing some comfortability going there. All right, Jordan, we have enough for one more question. So how about we hit the ladies with one more question apiece? So starting off with the final question for Lux, what do we have lined up for her?
So we talked about kids with Promise. Lux, do you have kids? And if you don't, do you want kids? I kind of heard you say that you do the same thing with your kids, but kind of.
I do have kids. I have 3 kids. They're 4, 10, and 13. So I definitely have enough kids. So yeah. I got enough to go around.
Those are good ages.
That's awesome.
You're right. No, it's beautiful. Yeah, the oldest is helping, and the youngest
Right.
is still young to be like snuggly. But yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. The youngest is that age where you can still snuggle up, and the oldest one can watch everyone. So
Yeah,
got
that
it.
is
That's
awesome.
what's up.
Yeah, okay, moving it up to the final question, unfortunately, of the second round. Going to Promise. What is the final question for Promise? What do you got lined
Promise. If I ask your friends about you, what as a like, hey, what kind of girlfriend is she? What kind of relationship? How is she in relationships? What would they say?
They would say it would be dependent on how you are.
And so let's say that this person was somebody that you were geared towards, as somebody that you found attractive, somebody that was, you know, giving all the right vibes out.
And they would probably say that
That armrest
I'm
is
not
coming
trying
up.
to I'm not trying to say I act like a wife, but like I do a lot more for somebody that I'm geared towards to versus not.
Oh, awesome. Well, definitely way to finish it out. Can we just get a round of applause to the lovely ladies? All your questions were awesome. You did, guys, did awesome. So did our lovely bachelor on today's episode. But unfortunately, there can only be one. But before we get to that, give our last plug of the show. You guys are watching Rate the Date, the #1 dating show on the app. I'm your lovely host. And we got Jordan as our bachelor on today's episode. We got the lovely Promise, who definitely let us know of her fears of cars. She let us know that, you know, some of the type of perfect date she would go on, how to spice up a date by lifting up that armrest and sneaking in some of our favorite snacks. You know, she let us know that she likes to travel, but not by vehicle. And then we have the lovely Lux. She's a writer. She has 3 children. She's rocking those lovely ponytails, or I forgot what they're called. Pigtails, yeah. And definitely got to know her a little bit about her communication that she likes in a relationship, clarity, and how she likes to keep a smile and keep the relationship a little bit more on the joyous side. So without further ado, Jordan, there can only be one. This is not the throuple episode. So can we get a drum roll, please? Who is going to be your pick on today's episode of Rate the Day?
Okay. I almost.
Chat, who do you think
right.
he should pick? Chat.
Yeah, Chad, help me out, please. Help me, please.
Phone a friend.
Lifeline.
Really?
Lux,
One for
promise.
each? Good job,
That's too
guys.
hard. I promise. Lux. You
You guys are going one for each, really? Both? Thanks, Jesse. I appreciate you. Wow, you guys all suck. I'm gonna say that everyone had really good answers. I enjoyed it. I think you guys were. I didn't think it was gonna be this good. It was really good. But I'm gonna go with the one I just feel like matches my vibe and me, and I feel like she was calm in here, but I don't feel like she's that calm. So I just feel like she just put up a nice calm demeanor today, and I'm trying to see how not calm she is. So I'm gonna go with Promise.
Promise. Congratulations. All right, Lux, we love having you on today. You always do great. We love seeing you, hearing from you. And please, everybody, favorite all of our lovely contestants and our bachelor. Lux, any parting ways from the stream, sweetheart?
That was funny.
Oh, yes, thank you. Join me for coffee time in the morning around 11 a.m. Eastern. And I have Tic Tac trivia Saturday night or Sunday morning, 12:30 a.m. Eastern. So come check that out. And thank you for having me. And you guys are going to be so cute. Love it. Can't wait to hear how it goes.
Aw, that's super sweet. Well, congratulations to the lovely Promise. Can we get a round of applause for our lovely Promise?
Thank you. This is
And stay
crazy.
tuned, ladies and gentlemen, because we're also getting an update from last week's pick, and we'll hear
You're
about
gonna
them
write it on
right
me.
after I tell these guys what's going to happen. So here's what's going to happen. You know, you guys, you picked the lovely Promise, and you guys are going to get to know each other. You guys are going to get to know each other off of the platform. I think both of y'all have Instagram. So I'm going to create a group chat for us, and I'm going to give y'all some instructions on what y'all can do or cannot do, you know, and then I'll let y'all handle the rest. I'll skedaddle and leave the rest up to y'all. All that I ask is that y'all have fun and tune back in next Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern time and give us an update. Does that sound good to both of y'all?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Any parting ways from the stream, both of y'all?
Yeah, I just got to thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. I appreciate it. Well, y'all get out of here and get to know each other and get the ball rolling on that. Thank you so much for Jordan. Can we get a round of applause again for our lovely...
Answer the question.
I ain't asking no question. Sorry. Okay. All right. Yeah, they would. I think they make a cute couple. What do you guys think? All right. So speaking of that, we have the lovely Hennessy. She was our bachelorette on our last episode, and she picked Yoli. So if we could get Hennessy to request the box, please, and we'll get to know, get that update real quick. But in the meantime, while we wait for Hennessy to give us an update, let's give some shout outs to our top gifters again from our last episode. So let me get that ready for y'all. Our top gifters from our last episode, we had the lovely Pebbles again, you know, featured at the #1 spot. We had Hennessy, speaking of Hennessy, at the #2 spot. We had Casanova at our #3 spot, last favorite, and then we had Squint at our #5 spot. So the person who is our top gifter today, I think that's going to be Ellie Marie the Bratton. Unless somebody wants to brat up and take her spot, she's going to be featured on the official Rate the Date name tag. Hennessy, you are a bachelorette on our last episode, and you chose Yoli as your match for that episode. You guys have been getting to know each other for about 7 days now. How have things been going? I'm dying to hear.
No, it's been good. It's been good. I mean, I'm like a horrible texter, but we have talked about like video chatting or whatever. But yeah, no, I think she's a cool person, and I like her. She's very sweet. Mickey, what's up? Yeah, she's very sweet, and yeah, I'll give you an update later.
Okay.
Later, 7
right.
days. I think 7 days. It doesn't do too much justice. You know.
Yeah, and
it takes a bit of time to get to know people.
Just 1 week sometimes isn't quite enough, especially if you guys are, you know, in between different states and things like that. So good advice. Yeah, maybe we'll do that to where some couples, if that 7 days isn't quite enough, we'll extend the update. So maybe next Thursday.
But if anything, maybe just friends. I don't know.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Well, we'll see. We'll definitely tune in next Thursday, and we'll be hearing again from Hennessy. Hennessy, you got anything to plug? Any parting ways for the stream?
No, just thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity. You know, I feel like this is a good, thank you. I feel like this is a good platform to, like, you know, if you are trying to find your special someone, you know, some people are on this app just to stream, but other people, like, they want to find their person, you know, and I feel like this is a good outlet too. So if that's you, I feel like this is a good place for you. It's a good platform. And even if you just want to be entertained, like, you know, they're good questions. It's very entertaining, you know, and who knows, maybe you might see like romance come to pass, you know, you might see somebody find their wife.
That's awesome. Hennessy, I couldn't have said it better myself. You are an awesome hype woman with or without the
Thank
Hennessy.
you.
So we
Mwah.
appreciate
Definitely.
we appreciate having her on the stream. So real quick, man, this show is one of my favorites. I just got to say. All right, so we have a couple of things to plug. We got Suited Up with Chris Casper. That's on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So he does like his whole Jay Leno thing on the app. So definitely tune into that. Guys, we got our 15th episode, which is next Thursday. And I think, who do we have on next week? Let me take a gander for y'all real quick. Hold on, just uno momento, por favor. All right, give me our docs. Unless one of my admins can tell me real quick. Oh, on our next episode, we have Vincent. So Vincent, you guys know him from whenever I'm in my hometown of Dallas, Texas. We're gonna have Vincent be our lovely bachelor on that episode. So please tune in for that. And if you guys want to get booked on the show, want to be a bachelor or bachelorette, only got 5 more episodes left for this. We might be all booked on bachelors and bachelorettes. But we do have the season finale episode, and I got some amazing things in store for y'all. I could throw out some names if y'all want me to, but maybe I'll keep it a secret. But yeah, so definitely tune in next Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, and we got an amazing show lined up for y'all. And I think it might be a episode where everybody is in the nearby location, so we can maybe pair it up to where we can hook these guys up on a date like we've did before. Big shout out to all of you guys. I can't do this show without y'all. I definitely need all of my admins, and big shout out to all of my admins, all the people tune in. Can we just get a round of applause for y'all? Thank you guys so much. I'm going to go out on the official Rate the Date theme song. You know, guys, this will get stuck in your head. So cover your ears if you don't want to hear it in your sleep. Time to rate the date with Dorian Gray.
Time to rate the date with Dorian Gray. Time to rate the date with Dorian Gray. It's gonna be fun. Who's gonna win the day?
Thank you, Mickey. Big shout out to Ellie Marie the Brat. Cat Girl, welcome. Thank you for all of the lovely gifts. That is awesome. Big shout out, big shout out, big shout out to the microphone twins. We love you, TJ. What up, Goku? JL. And this has been another installment of Rate the Date, the #1 show on the platform. Thank you guys for the awesome gifts. We appreciate you. Like I said, I can't do it without you. So just thank you so much. And maybe tune in tonight. Maybe I'll put some streamer hours in. Much love. Until next time, where we turn virtual dating into reality.